The first thing is right now the entire armamentarium and IBD treatment has been completely changed. So what you are supposed to do, to whom you are going to initiate the treatment, which is the best line. Rather than thinking in terms of whether this is the best molecule, you need to choose whether this patient will respond to this molecule or not. So right patient, right treatment, right target is the most important message we need to look into that when you're looking for the treatment guidelines. Briefly, first we need to identify the patient in a recognized way, treat early, individualize the treatment option, and choose the right drug and think ahead how you're going to proceed. So what is the basic definition of positioning and sequencing? Positioning is nothing but when you're going to initiate the patient on first line of treatment with biological name. So whether this patient is going to respond to the treatment or not is nothing but based upon the clinical phenotypes, biochemical parameters, all those things. This is what we are going to position the patient. And what do you mean by sequencing? If the patient is going for failure, and what is the best line of treatment followed by the various clinical recognition, phenotypic markers and biochemical markers. So we need to categorize the second line of therapy to this patient after failure is nothing but sequencing. So our primary area of interest to identify the positioning as well as sequencing is very important. So no single best molecule to identify. Thus, this could be the best treatment for a patient who had evidence of ulcerative colitis or CD. So we need to look for various clinical picture, starting from head to foot assessment and based upon extra GI manifestations, clinical coexisting comorbidities. All this presentation we need to see whether this patient is going to respond to the therapy or not. And usually various guidelines being quoted with this. And I'm outlining with a few important things from ECO as well as your AG, ACG as well as BSG and your IOBD. All these major guidelines, what I'm mentioning in this. First, whoever the patient from UC or CD, the basic thing we need to categorize based upon disease characteristics, patient characteristics, whether the patient is accessible, efficacy as well as safety regimen to be initiated. What is the disease categorization? So IBD severity, whether the behavior or complications based upon various scoring systems what you're going to use, early versus late presentation, how the extra GI manifestations be predominantly occupied, whether it is dermatological or based upon your various presentation, and patient characteristics. So when the patient is going to initiate the treatment, age of the patient, whether the patient is having other presentation like older population or coexisting other problems like malignancy turnover, or if the patient is having any risk of infections like TB. All these pointers we need to address. Accessibility, whether the patient evidence of insurance cover in India is definitely a challenging task, and cost of the treatment, and apart from efficacy. There are very few limitations for antibodies to be get measured. So whether the pharmacodynamics, pharmacokinetics is going to get altered or not, whether the patient is going to respond, whether it is using for a longer duration of time. Now slowly we have been moving on to gut selective vedolizumab, and initially when 12 and 23 has been playing a major role. Now the smaller molecules like Upada are still taking a major role based upon the various trials for Upada, your accomplished as well as evolving traits. All those things to be mentioned very classically with upadacitinib to be initiated with dose of so and so we can able to consider. And even your sphingosine modulators like your vasolimod, etrasimod, that also to be considered the armamentarium. So what are you going to assess when the patient should have a proper response? Usually when you're going to initiate the patient on biologic support, for example Infliximab Alali, it should usually respond within a period of third dose of regimen, but some guidelines are mentioning in the second dose of regimen the patient should show response, but it should not prolong more than 6 to 8 doses. That's the most thing we need to consider. Apart from that, if the patient is having aminosalicylates, there are two guidelines, either to start with 2.4 or we can go up to 4.8. Higher dose, we need to be very cautious because there is a risk of fetal nephrotoxicity, and also in the pregnant women, there is a risk of neurotic defects. All these pointers because of the surface allergen which is being used as a moiety. We just consider whether to consider that kind of patient higher dose. So we can slowly escalate from 2.4 to 4.8 if you are going to use that. And other molecules like JAK and other things, usually when to assess the response for example, when you are going to use JAK with Upada, 8 weeks of therapy for UC and 12 weeks of therapy for Crohn's is what we consider most of the time. So what is the basic positioning? Now very interesting, upadacitinib has been taking a major role for UC because rapid onset, quicker response. So this is what the practical outline. The named patients, we can start now with Upada. If the patients have been prior TNF failure, we can go for either Tofa or Upada. Or steroid dependent. If the patient is on long-term steroid dependent, more than 10 milligrams, the patient depends for more duration of time, which means the best molecule is still risk of infection in the higher side, whether it is Zuma, we can consider acute severe UC, as I already mentioned, inflex molecule. And for other presentation, for example, in special situations like older population, best line of molecule, whether it is young population, pregnant women, always anti-TNF to be considered, but in the third trimester you need to be cautious. Prior malignancy, whether it is latent TB, always JAK inhibitors, you need to be very cautious not to be used. Extra GM manifestations, usually you're aware anti-TNF will be the most common molecules to choose on. And beyond the gut, extra GI, starting from your arthritis, your uveitis, apart from your scleral dermatological changes, the best line always anti-TNF. The second molecule you can consider Veroli. And apart from that, psoriatic arthritis, we should not forget that the best line of psoriatic presentation, the best molecule will be used because it will be acting a potential effect with interleukin 17 pathway that's going to get target in psoriatic reaction. So if the patient is having background psoriasis, you can consider safely OST. Apart from that, venous through embolism, other risk factors, better to avoid your tofacitinib and other molecules. So before concluding, we need to have a proper assessment of the clinical status, choose the best patient and initiate the biologics in proper way and see through that whether the patient is responding to the therapy or not. If the patient is responding, see whether the markers, endoscopic, histology, all the parameters is responding. And precision medicine, we are not supposed to forget, because nowadays the field of inflammatory markers cascade has been checked in our own. With this, I'm happy to rest. Thank you for patient listening.
Thank you, sir, for your informative lecture. For the next lecture,